Time now 6:38. We're going to check back in with meteorologist Alex Pride with the latest on our impacts here.
Yes, going off that, some more lasting impacts of some damage. Have heard from some EMA directors here in the National Weather Service chat. We have 10 trees that are reported down in Baldwin County and 13 more trees that have been reported down in Wilkinson County. And in Wilkinson County, some power lines have also been affected by those downed trees. So going to continue to deal with this damage even after the fact that Helene does move on out. But in terms of timing on out, when that rain, when those gusty winds are really going to get out of here in central Georgia, let's take it through our future view model, and I have been bragging on it because the resolution is very similar to what our live radar has been. The National Hurricane Center has put that, or had that cone further over to the west, really coming straight through here in Macon, but future view has been correct so far. I have seen that center of circulation go through our eastern half here in central Georgia. So right now at the 6 a.m. hour, that's where you see that timestamp. Let's drag it on over to 7. You can definitely see some of those showers continuing to creep on up to the north here in central Georgia, but these showers right now, some of them heavier in nature and also having some very gusty winds. Ansley Parker will have more on that in just a second, but right now we're looking at that rain to really get on out of here in central Georgia by about the 8-9 a.m. hours. But even after that rain does get on out, you can take a look at these wind arrows. They are still rather gusty, coming in from the southwest now, it looks like, so continuing to rotate around counterclockwise that center of Helene. And then as we go throughout the afternoon hours, kind of around to the lunchtime hour, we finally see some sunshine in the forecast, and I definitely think we do deserve some sunshine after the eventful past couple of days weather-wise here in central Georgia, and hopefully leading to a nice weekend and good weather for any cleanup efforts that need to be made. But like I said, going over to Ansley Parker now, taking a look at some of the winds associated with this last little bit of rain associated with Tropical Storm Helene.
That's right, Alex. And I mean, we are talking about Category 1 strength when this storm rolled through central Georgia. So this is an incredibly strong storm that came through and packed a whole lot of damage with it. Now, earlier today, right now you're looking at wind speeds that are still kind of lingering with us, along with a line that's over there towards Crawford County. Our radar data may be a touch outdated. I think this line may be a little bit closer to Monroe and Jones County at the moment, but we're still watching wind gusts roll up to about that 50 to 65 mile per hour range. But earlier today, we're talking about wind gusts to the 70 to 80 mile per hour range, even clocking wind gusts around 90 miles per hour here in central Georgia. So certainly Category 1 strength, some very impressive wind speeds that we saw with this storm. Actually, Chief Meteorologist Ben Jones sent us a video to our weather team earlier from his house when the second line did roll through Macon-Bibb County earlier today, and that did have some very gusty winds. So even though we're talking about some slightly lower wind gusts, these are still very powerful. When it rolled through the station earlier, it did flicker our power in and out. So this is kind of the lasting impact that we're still paying attention to as it does continue to roll across the area. And there's kind of a bigger view of what I'm talking about there, and that's really over here on top of Monroe County, making its way towards Jasper and Putnam counties at the moment. This is kind of the last area that we're watching in terms of wind speeds, but as we push through the rest of the afternoon, these gustier winds are going to stick with us, although much less impactful. We're talking wind gusts for the rest of the afternoon in that 20 to 30 mile per hour range, so hopefully much less impactful than the winds that we did see from the Category 1 strength that rolled through earlier this morning. But that will be the main lasting impact. We'll continue to talk about Tropical Storm Helene and her impacts after the break.